Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to do an acting resume. So two things before I actually begin. One, I somewhere around here at the top it should say Bandicam. Reason being is because that's the system I'm using to actually do the screen recording for this. So sorry if that interferes or is distracting to you. Didn't mean it, but for now that's what I'm working with. Two, the second thing I want to say is that I've tried to do this video about 3 or 4 times already, and all previous times they've come out really long, about 20 to 30 minutes long, and I want to keep it at least around 15 minutes. So what I did this around is that I more or less already typed in everything, and I'm basically gonna explain it as I go on. So starting now, obviously you're gonna need your name, so that's a given. Now, union. What is union? Basically, that means SAG. Normally it means SAG. Are you part of SAG? There are a few other union affiliations, but the main one is normally SAG. So, are you SAG? If you're not, just put non-union. Normally, if you're not, you just put non-union, and that's basically it. Email or website. Your email has to be up to date. Same thing with your website. Phone number, again, up to date. Age, you obviously need to put your age, how old you are. Weight/size. Now, if you don't feel comfortable in saying your weight, you could just say size. Normally, by size, they mean, if you're a woman, they mean dress. And if you're a man, they mean jacket. And universally, they mean pants. So, man or woman, what's your pants size if you're So, yeah, man or woman, what's your pants size? Woman, or what's your dress size? And a man, what's your jacket size? So that's what they mean by that. Height, eye color, hair color, and vocal range. Vocal range if you're going to be trying out for a musical, but it's always good just to have it just in case. Hair color and eye color, reason being is maybe your headshot isn't all that good. Your eye color and hair color being specified on your actual resume always helps out. Okay? Now, on your first credit, you're going to want to have films and short films. Eventually you will be splitting these two into two different credits, but when you're just starting out, they are going to be one different credit. So yeah, normally this is how you'd have it. You have the name of the movie, the role, the production company, and the director. So here we have C, supporting, random company, and random director. Now, notice here, 2015, 2016, 2017. So you're going to be putting these in the order, the latest one on top. So the latest one is C from 2017, so you put it C. A from 2016, you put it here. And B from 2015, you put it here. Your role, you don't put your character's name here, you just put like what type of role you had. So were you the supporting, were you the lead, were you the featured, what were you? Okay, same thing, kind of, for TV and web shows. Again, eventually you will have two different credits for TV and web shows, but for now, they are one thing. Okay, so for TV and web shows, again, name and role over here, and network, random company over here. Now, the reason you don't put the actual director is because especially for here, like here we have 7 episodes, it's because normally the director won't be the same person. Okay, and maybe it's not the same person. Maybe in one episode in the first episode you had director A, okay, but in the second episode, let me put that in caps, but in second had director F. Who knows what type of director you had, and it's right here. So let me just minimize that a bit, or maybe let's see, backspace 1. So yeah, so normally you don't put the director in my so yeah, so that's why. So you just put the company's name. Okay, maybe if you have like here for one episode, you could put the director, so here you would put director, but normally it's not recommended unless it's in one episode. Something else, which is really cool in my opinion, is extra work. So yeah, and this applies to both TV and film. Let's see, can I put it better here? Yes, I could put it better there, thank you. Um, and here, let's say, you did a film, um, D, right, came out in 2014, and you were just an extra, okay? You were just an extra, okay? Again, random company, ransom, okay, that's new. Random company, random director, okay? Okay, so what do? Normally, you shouldn't put extra, okay? You will not put extra. You will never put extra. Let me just put that here. You will never put extra. You will never put extra unless, what's the unless? Featured extra. So what does this mean? What does a featured extra basically mean? What is that entitled? It means that you had some amount of screen time. So let me just put that here. Had some amount of notable screen time. You know, maybe with a lead actor. You know, maybe you had a line. Okay, maybe you had a line or close up. Okay, that's what it means. So that's the only reason why you will put extra on your resume is if you were with close to a lead actor and you were actually interacting with them in the film or TV show. You know, maybe you had a line or a close up. That's the only time you'd put featured extra. Okay. And something else again applies to both film and TV. Is let's say you had A B C D E. Let's say you were in film E. Again, let's say your role was a co-star or whatever. Actually, no, let's go with something smaller. Let's say again, featured extra. Featured extra. Okay, again, random company with random director. Okay? Now, the only difference here is, aside from the fact that I misspelled that, is the fact, the only difference between D and E, aside from the movie, is the fact that here, your part was cut. Okay, your part was cut. So what does that mean? That means you are no longer in the film as a whole, and thus, yeah, you're just not in the film anymore. Let's see. So what do you put if you have proof? Let me just write this down here. If you have proof that you were in the film, you can still put it in the resume. Film slash TV. Okay? If you still, episodes, who knows? If you still have proof that you were at least on set, you had some screen time and they just cut it out during editing, or they didn't like how the scene turned out, or they just cut your role entirely, but you still have proof that you did some work and it's on film somewhere, do put it here because eventually it will go to your acting resume, acting reel, sorry. So that's how that works out. Okay, now as for commercials, that's given upon request. Normally casting directors who want to cast you for commercial will have to request it. Reason being, it's because let's say you did a commercial for Coke, did commercial for them, okay, but now Pepsi, they want you, okay. You normally don't put this in here because then you'll have two may happen, who knows, but then you'll have two competing businesses grabbing your attention, so they want to know who you worked with. It's a bit more competitive in the commercial, so that's why you normally have a different resume just for commercials. If you want to see a commercial resume, a video for itself on how to do a commercial resume, just ask and maybe I'll do it in the future. And again, commercials and infomercials kind of go within the same section. They're more or less formatted the same way. So yeah, so that's why you put at the end, given upon request. Now onto theater. Now for theater, it's a little bit different. Again, it's kind of formatted the same way here. The year came out, year came out. The only difference here is the role and the fact that you have theater company and director and whatever. So obviously, instead of a production company, you're gonna have a theater company. Okay, again, instead of a network company, you're gonna have a theater company. Okay, and role is now instead of putting like lead, you're gonna be putting the actual name of character. Okay, so here, let's say you were character C. Now the reason is because the play will be somewhat known depending where you do it, and thus the characters of that play will be known. Okay, so that's why you do it like that. The characters will be known, so you don't have to put lead, ensemble, supporting. You don't have to specify that. You just specify the name of your characters. And again, play came out in 2016, came out in 2017, 15. So yeah, one thing I kind of neglected for TV. For example, here you have 7 episodes. For example, a casting director would want to know what episodes you're in. So when they ask you, you're just gonna have to say, yeah, I was in this episode from season 1, this episode from season 2, this episode from season 3, this episode from season 4, this episode from season 5, this episode from season 6, and this episode from season 7, or however that goes. But if you're multiple episodes, just specify. It depends on how big your role was on the TV show. But again, that's all up for specifications when the time comes, and it depends on you and if you've done TV shows, web shows, whatever. Okay. Now next up we have education and training. Now for this, there's different ways to format this part. This is the way I like to format it. For place, you could have the name of the school, the name of the theater company, or the name of the workshop. Okay. So that's how I like it. Now, as for date, you left or graduated. This is how I like to format it. So this is how I would want to preferably do it on mine. So let's say the place was high school. Okay, high school. Okay, is that how you spell high school? Okay, and it was from 2014 through 2017. Okay, that's how long you did, and what you learned was acting, web design, Photoshop, painting. What did you learn in this? What did you learn here? I misspelled all that. Let's see, web design. How did I design? Okay. Is that one word or 2 words? Okay, 2 words. Photoshop. Fuck it, and painting. So let's say that's what you learned in high school. That applies to this, to acting any sort of way, and other stuff do apply. Such as photography, and maybe even stuff you wouldn't even think about, like cooking, okay, or accents. Dancing, singing, gymnastics. What can you do? Skateboard. So depends on what you learn in the class or the workshop at the theater. You normally put that here, so that's your education for this high school, and that's how long you went from 2014 to 2017. That's how long you went. Okay, and let me just put this properly. And yeah, now for special skills, what can you do? Basically, in a sense, it's basically a sum up of everything here. Okay, like everything you have in every single class and every single part normally is what you would put here. So what can I do in this case? I can do all of that. Okay, so let me just paste this here. Now there is one issue here that I do have. And this is an acting resume, okay? So here you will take out acting entirely, okay? You would have to take out acting as a whole. And that's basically how your special skills will be. Can you skateboard? Can you do gymnastics, singing, dancing? Sports is another great thing to put here. Instruments. So what can you do? Did I put, is carpentry on here? Carpentry. Wood shop. Is it called wood shop? Wood shop. I believe that's class. Maybe. Who knows? Okay, but there's so much things you could put under special skills. Now, something you do have to realize is that you do have to feel confident about your special skills. Now, for example, I took a dance class, and in that dance class, I took merengue, or I learned merengue, cha-cha, salsa, and ballroom. Okay, so I learned merengue, cha-cha, salsa, and ballroom, okay? Dancing, okay? But the only one I feel confident in ever doing is cha-cha. So, despite the fact that I may be putting this here, the only one I'm ever gonna add onto my special skills is cha-cha, because that's the one I am most confident in doing. Okay, so special skills is what can you confidently do? What can you confidently do? Okay, you can't just put, oh yeah, I know how to sing, and maybe do a few notes from Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or the ABCs. Okay, you need to actually learn how to sing. Are you a mezzo soprano? Or are you an alto? Or baritone? Who knows what you are? So, can you sing? Can you dance? What can you do? So, yeah, and that's basically how an acting resume will more or less look like. Obviously, this is all bare and bones and whatever, and obviously there will be stylistic choices that you're gonna have to do. So maybe, and the first thing you actually want to do is have an easy to read font. So maybe Arial Black or just Arial, Cambria or Cambria Light. Okay, you don't want to put something that's really hard to read, such as this, or where is it? There's one that's like just a bunch of symbols. Or this, like this would be shit hard to read, let's be honest. So you want to have something that's easy to read, not something that's actually somewhat mature, so you wouldn't want to put this. Broadway would be somewhat funny, and that one is a bit immature in my opinion, just because of how it is. I mean, something like Calabria or Calibri Light, something that's easy on the eyes, easy to read, Callisto Cambria. Like, this one would be a little bit too showy in my opinion, so just put something that's actually pretty good. Chiller would be a bad idea. I mean, what's my default font? I just really leave it at Calibria body, to be honest, and yeah, and that's more or less how you're gonna do an acting resume. I mean, again, and this is a stylistic choice. I remove this, but you wouldn't want to have the actual name, role, production company, and director. Okay, you want to leave it like that. Okay, so take out this part. Let's see, leave it like that. Okay. I mean, some people leave it, but honestly, I feel like that's kind of insulting the intelligence of the casting director. So that's how I would want to do it. Let me just edit this here, and that's more or less how an acting resume should look like. Again, if you're in one episode, you should put the director. If you're in multiple episodes, just put the company. Okay, and yeah, this is more or less how an acting resume should look like. Some people recommend to put a picture here on the side. That's a pretty decent recommendation in my opinion. I would recommend that right now. I mean, would I recommend it? Yeah, I would. It has helped me out a bit. But I've just recently started using that, so I can't really say for sure. So yeah, now if you guys want to see a video for commercial / infomercial resumes on its own, comment down below. If there's enough upvotes or whatever, if there's enough people who are wanting that, I will do it in the future. And yeah, that's basically how you do an acting resume. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And yeah, hopefully this video isn't too long. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.